Monsignor Marcelo Sanchez Sorondo, members of the SDSN committee, distinguished members of the panel, my dear young colleagues, it is a great honor to be here with you. Today we have heard a great deal of inspiring leaders and initiatives to promote fraternity, friendship, and solidarity in the world. I was asked to talk about the role the scientific community could and must have in the fulfillment of those common goals, and I hope to prove adequate to such task. As the title of this session implies, technological development is and has always been deeply related to economic growth and human prosperity. As a physicist, I have witnessed the wonders of the power of science and the human mind for the production of knowledge to transform the world around us. From the creation of the steam engine to the discovery of gravitational waves, science and technology have achieved great things that were impossible to be foreseen within modern history. There are, however, urgent problems in the world that have not yet been solved. I would like to bring two of them to your attention. Firstly, energy poverty. This is related to SDG 7. There are over 1 billion people with no access to electrical power. This means that almost 15% of the world's population lacks access to artificial light, safe cooking, water pumping, and basic information sources. It is evident that in conditions like this, where survival becomes a hardship, people cannot develop to their full potential, leaving countries in permanent state of disadvantage. Secondly, we rely more than ever on fossil fuels. This is related to SDGs 7, 9, and 13. We live in an economy that has made us believe that the problem of production has been solved, when in reality, keeping our industrial dependence on fossil fuels will not allow us to live on this earth more than another century the way we know it. Now, what can scientists do in the face of these challenges? The first thing is to remember that science and technology are a product of processes and tools directed by humans. They are not living beings with autonomy. This means that we, the people, can and must direct the way in which prosperity grows. The remarkable economist Ernest Schumacher proposed in the 70s an idea that is still relevant today. He proposed for the first time the use and development of appropriate technologies for the creation of an economy where people, not only profit, are at the center of our concerns. These technologies ought to be cheap, that they may be accessible, small and scalable, that they may be sustainable, and helpful, that they may develop human well-being. Keeping this idea in mind, I would like to present a project which shows that it is possible and desirable to develop appropriate technologies to overcome these challenges in a profitable way. Along with my postgraduate studies in engineering for international development at UCL, I am working as a data scientist in a young company called BBOXX. BBOXX was founded in London 7 years ago by a group of recently graduated engineers. This group of hardworking leaders spotted the potential of smart solar home systems to solve the world's problem of electricity shortage. BBOXX aims to build the largest virtual solar grid in Africa and elsewhere by using local mobile networks. Each system is connected to the central database in London, where millions of data points are produced per day and used to constantly monitor and improve the service to each customer. Software and hardware are designed in London. Then the systems are manufactured in China. And finally, these are installed and used in rural communities in various locations in Africa and the south of Asia, where people from the communities are trained and employed fairly to maintain the systems in optimal conditions. The systems are financed by bodies such as Bamboo Capital and sold using payment plans to make them accessible to the masses. With a 50-watt solar panel, each household is able to have light, phone chargers, and the possibility of radio and TV for as little as $7 per month. Considering the common price of batteries, phone charging, and kerosene lamps, using BBOXX systems allows the users to save 50% of the money that they would normally use to pay for carbon-based energy. If someone decides to sponsor BBOXX home systems, instead of buying the latest smartphone, for example, That person could be giving a year of clean and reliable energy to at least 10 households. As a data scientist, I am part of the team in charge of collecting and analyzing the millions of data points that are produced by all the systems each day. Through statistics, machine learning, and software development, we can better understand the needs of the people in the communities and thus optimize the service provided. The human results are even more motivating than the science itself. And I'm a physicist, so that's something to say. In less than 10 years, BBOXX has given clean and reliable energy to over 500,000 people, and 400,000 tons of CO2 have been offset. More than 125,000 school-aged children have light at night to study without the dangers of kerosene lamps. From safer cooking to the probability of starting small-scale businesses, these solar technologies have had a great impact in the lives of thousands of families in the global south. The constant growth of the company, reflected in its increasing revenues and human capital, is a great evidence that it is possible and desirable to use science and technology to create profitable business that push towards the fulfillment of the Sustainable Development Goals. I believe that initiatives like BBOXX show what the role of scientists and engineers must be in the world, regardless of our age or area of expertise, to be an active agent of change. If we look at the SDGs one by one, I can assure you that a scientist or an engineer can come up with a clever way to help solving its challenge. This means that science cannot be just about the production of academic papers. There must be a commitment from the scientists to engage with the wider community, and willingness from leaders and the public to listen to what skillful and educated people have to say. This is crucial if we aim to bring wisdom back to our institutions and public policies, and to find sustainable solutions to the most pressing issues of the world that the world is putting in front of us today. Remember, scientific progress and technological development are led by people. Therefore, it is up to us, the people, to decide the way in which prosperity is directed. Borrowing the memorable words of John F. Kennedy, if we cannot overcome our difference, it is our responsibility to build a world that is safe for diversity. For in the final analysis, our most basic common link is that we all inhabit this small planet. We all breathe the same air, and we all cherish the future of our children's future, and we're all mortal. Thank you.